Means that today we are going to have the second part or second lecture on LCD. Purposefully, I added this semester because last semester we didn't have much more time to do, but this semester I purposefully add this part, which will help you to understand more regarding the function in LCD and liquid crystal library that we have. The second new things that I want to tell you is that we are going to add two lecture with this week and next week. Means that one more lecture, two more lecture for this week, and three lecture for next week. We will have to cover much more better our subject. These two more lecture I will add because I want to see that if we can have some experiment with the sensors part, then our course become much more better and great. Um, Please just follow the AJM WeChat group. In that, I will give you the time after coordinating and see your time schedule for this week. Then, in this week, after today, we will have two more lecture. Okay, and next week we have three lecture again. This is one. Second thing is that as I saw, most of you purchased the Arduino board before coming to school, before returning back to school. We should work on that practical part. If I will finish today, after this, you will be able to start and do some practical job. I want that you start to work and then send me the video with your mobile phone. In that time, it will be um much more effective from your side, and I will see that you learn it. Okay. This let us see how we will manage. Maybe for initial time we will have some problem, but if we help each other, we can do it and learn the subject much more better. Please think for these two, and let us start today lecture and don't waste time more on talking. Um, as I say, today we are going to discuss regarding the LCD part, and mainly I'm focus on 9 example. One nice example on character LCD 60 by 2, which will help you to understand and work much more better with this nice add-on part to our Arduino. Okay, uh, this slide is related to our last lecture, but again we will review here that, as you know, my LCD will use the operating voltage of 5 volt. Mainly the chips that it's used there, it's Hitachi HD 44780 LCD controller. The resolution that we need, because we have 60 by 2, we have 2 line and 16 characters. And the resolution for the character is 5 by 8 pixel. The dimension of the module is something like that, 80 by 36 by 12 millimeter. And the viewing area that we can see, it's 64.5 multiplied by 60.4 millimeter. This is the from the just looking the hardware. The other part is the connection that we should have. As we discussed, and I saw some of your homework for LCD, you know this pinout, but once more I will tell you that to running the LCD we have 16 pin as the VSS, VDD, and VO, which should be connect proper. RS and RW and E. Mainly, it's depend on you to which pin of Arduino you add, but I prefer to use for pin number 2 for RS. RW because mainly we are going to write on that, not uh, read from that. We are going to put it as ground, and enable pin will connect to pin number 3. Then D0 to D7, we will not use all. We just using D4 to D7, means the last four pin, and we'll connect, suppose, from pin number 4 to pin number 7 of our Arduino. Then two last pin which are related to our LED blink or the diode that they put there. Uh, Something like this we can add. And also, if you want to write the program from the sketch, you can go from the include library and add the liquid crystal function for that. Then uh, most of the writing code for your LCD will be uh, hand over to this function, and you can do it easily with the help of this nice function that they call it liquid crystal. But um, maybe as the first example that all of you have done it with the hello world, we can review it. But the difference between this example number review or example number one is that instead of just one line in LCD, now we have two line of written character on that. Let us review the program. As you see in the first part, we just use the LCD library, and in the second line, liquid crystal LCD, we specify the pin which we use. Means that the pin number 2, we are connected to RS. The pin number 3 is for the enable. D4 to D7 are as following pins of 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then the void setup will be a start, which in that you will say that what type of LCD you have. 16 and 2 will shows the columns and row for you. And then as the next part, we will go for the loop section. In the loop section, as you can see, first I will use one thing that we call it LCD set cruiser. LCD set cruiser, it's the command that will guide our cruiser to some specific point. What is that point? The point is that it will going to set the cruiser on the third column and first row, uh, and counting start at 0, something like this. This is the location of our writing. And then LCD print is the command which going to write and print whatever things that you will put between the parentheses. Then LCD set cruiser 2.1 will go to the next line and guide the my LCD that from which column I want to write. And then again, we'll put the LCD tutorial. If you see the photo that I put here, you will see that now I have two lines instead of just one line, and I could to navigate my data to the proper place. That was something like recovering example or just review example. Let us go ahead. All these points here I just discussed with you that how this works. Then let us see. Okay, as you can see in our LCD programming code, we have one function which we call it liquid crystal. Even that was your task, and I saw that few of you have done that. In this LCD liquid crystal function or yes, functional library. What they have done, they have done most of the problem that we had previously in our others microcontroller. And it has many other built function in that, which you might find them useful, and you can find an overview of them in today's lecture. Suppose the first command in that is clear, which it's going to clear the LCD and position the cursor to the upper left corner, first row, and first column. And you can use this function to display the different words in the loop. Let us see one example. First, we will use the library. Second is that we show the hardware connection wire there. And in the setup part, we specify the LCD that begins 16 by 2, means that the type of the LCD which we have. Then in the next part, as the loop, we have LCD.clear. The job of LCD.clear is that it will clean whatever you write or you have been written before on your LCD and make it like the blank page. Then we can have the LCD print, something like Monday. Okay. We can have delay, then again clear it, and again we can write or type another number there, number, character, whatever we want. And then again we can have some delay and finish. The main aim of example number two is that how the LCD that clear function will work. Let us do it more on the next function uh, in liquid crystal. One nice thing can be the command which is related to home. With the home, we will position the cursor in the top left corner of LCD. And by using this command, if you also want to clear the uh, LCD with the home, it's become nice. Means that you will put it there and also clean the LCD. Another one is cursor, which display the LCD cursor and underscore line at the position of the next character, which it should be printed. We have two commands. One is cruiser, one is no cruiser. Like this, we have also some other command that we will see today. But in the no cruiser, you will hide the LCD cruiser. And the following example, which we shows here, it shows the cruiser. Okay, let us see. Same, first we'll start with the function. Second is the hardware connection. Then in the setup, we have the LCD that begin and LCD that print, which by that it's going to 16 by 2 and then put the name of the LCD cursor. And then again, the void loop, we have the LCD cursor, some delay, LCD no cursor, and 500, which is go, shows, and gone, something like that for the cursor. Okay, the other function that we will see is blink or no blink. You know that if we want to create the blinking block style of LCD, we will use this function, and it's going to blinking the rectangular at the position of the next character, which should be print. As we have blink command, we have no blink command, which in that we are going to disable the blocks style of LCD cursor. Uh, as the program that I show here, display the blinking cursor for 5 seconds and then 2 seconds you can make it hide. Let us see in example. In example, same we have the connection for pin number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then in the setup part, we start the 16 by 2 LCD as usual that we have. Then It's going to print some word like blink like example, which it can be anything. There is no force to do that. And in the void setup, first it will LCD blink, have some delay, and LCD no blink again have some delay. Means that it's blinking and not blinking, uh, as the statement say. Let us see one more nice thing, which we call it display and no display, which in that also we will turn on the LCD screen and display any text or cursors that have been printed to the display. And in no display, this function will turn off any text or cursor printed to the LCD, and the text data is not cleared um, from the LCD memory. This means that it will uh, be shown again when function display is called. Let us see the program. Again, we use the library. Second is hardware connection. Void setup is LCD that began and LCD that print. That now we'll go to void loop. In void loop, as you can see, LCD dot display and then delay, LCD no display and delay. This is one good sample for display and no display one. Next is write function and scroll display left, which this function is used to decorate and also make your program much more user friendly. You know that even LCD is not mainly with the big size, especially 60 by 2, but people generally wants to have proper interact with the LCD which we designed, project that we designed. Then in that they prefer to have such this system that can help them to logging the data and even um, saving the data on that. But something which is very important here is that this display and no display can save the power consumption of your LCD. Means that just maybe by using this command, it will save the recharge of the battery or source of the voltage that you are using. Then the main target for us, then the main target for us to using this function is to have the better again power consumption of our board. Let us see more one which we call it right and scroll display left. In the right, we will use the function to write a character to the LCD. We can have it uh, with the formula. And with the scroll display, we scroll the contents of display, which it can be text or any cursor, on a space to the left. Then you can use this function in loop delay 500 to create according voltage. See the example. In the example also, first part is same. I'm just focus on the loop part. In that we have LCD dot scroll display left, which is going to scroll the context to the context of display. Okay, One more function can be scroll display right, which in that scroll the concept of display and space on right. Another one is auto scroll, which I like this one. This function turn on automatic scroll of LCD, and this cause uh, each character output to display to push a previous character uh, over by one space. If the current text uh, direction is left to right as the default, the direction is right to left, and the display uh, and this will have effective the output of each new character to same location on LCD. Suppose here we will shows the use of some character, but at some specific location that they give us. They give it 60 by 2 and 20 by 0, which on now they use it for 20 by 4 LCD. We can use by 60 by 2 LCD. Okay, let us see the next one. We can also have no auto scroll, that it will turn off the automatic scrolling of left to right, which mm, this function cause next to follow the right from the cursor as the display is left justified, and right to left is that the function which causes the text to left from cursor as if the display is right justified. Okay, that was the function that we use. But as I tell you, there are sometimes some language, suppose Chinese language or Japanese language or Persian language, or some specific word, a specific character, or any specific things that you want to design for your product and show it to your customer, or you have some other application, how we should do that, how we can use the character which are not enter some specific shapes, and that is the problem. With the function create char, it is possible to create and display customs function from custom character on LCD. This is especially useful if you want to display the character that is not part of the standard ASCII character sets. Um, as the technical info, you will see that the LCD that are based on, suppose Hitachi, that model, have two type of memory. It has CG-ROM and CG-RAM, which in that they are going to character generation, ROM and RAM. Then CG RAM generates all the 5 by 8 dot character pattern from the standard 8-bit character codes we have. CG RAM also can generate the user defined character pattern. Suppose if we have the 5 by 8 dot display, CGRAM can write up to 8 custom characters, and for 8 by 10 dot display 4. There is some datasheet for the Hitachi LCD that you can find it. This also I found from Hitachi LCD. Okay, let us see how this program will work. Suppose I have some icons like that. I want to make the bell, I want to make the heart, I want to like some model like this, some tick, some speaker, music. Like, what should I do? First of all, as usual, we are using the library function and then specify the hardware pin. Then we will start. This form can be generated by you, and also there are some software that you will draw it, and then they will give out the output for you. Okay, remember this, that you can do whatever function, whatever new elements that you want. Okay, then suppose as I have one picture of hearts, then the binary code is something like this. And bell, alien, check, speaker, sound, school, and lock. These are the icons that we have. First, initially, I will make them. Then let's go for the setup boot. In setup boot, first we should use the LCD create character as 0, and we call it her, 1 as bell, 2 as alien, till 7. And then we will clear the LCD first of all, and then write custom character. Now we can say set the cursor 0, 1, LCD write but 0, and then set it as 2.1, and then again LCD write byte number 1, and like this we can continue to see the customize icon or customize character on our LCD part. Uh, this part was one of the questions that maybe you have before, that for the character which are not ready made, what should we do? This I put for your task to test that you can do it. Uh, Very simple. And the tools that you can make this parameter are available on the GitHub, and you can use them. I will send you the link even if you send me the private message. Then the same process that I described for you will happen. Okay, now example number 9, which I want that you test it, and maybe I will not talk much more on that. This is the combination of most of the command that I described today as the one part of liquid crystal function, in that you can have uh, LCD clear, LCD blink, set cruiser, no blink, cruiser, no cruiser, and clear. With the help of that, you can see the um, all function that I tell you. Okay, okay. As the next part, we will have one smart video, which in that there is some nice application. Let us see. Okay, see that what they have done. This is one servo motor which just put the space whenever they have some inputs, and it may be nice that you know that they have done this with the help of Arduino board. See it once more. What they do, this is the LDR sensors. I will teach you later. And this is servo motor. That also I'm going to teach you. With the help of analog inputs, they create the voltage or output for the servo motors. And with the help of that, uh, you will see this motion. It's nice, and even that was funny application that I see people do with the help of the Arduino board. Uh, uh, Please see it once more. Okay, I like it because um, it's something new. Maybe you also like it. We will have much more these things, especially for the some these new lectures that I'm going to add. I will try to guide you even to do some job like this, which you will learn and also enjoy.